Hey, Louis Petalico here on behalf of the Constitutional Organization of Liberty with another brief tutorial on the U.S. Constitution. Although today I'm not talking about the Constitution. It's Thanksgiving 2017. So what better thing to talk about than Thanksgiving? Now, of course, in the 21st century, when we think of Thanksgiving, we usually like to think about the roasting turkey and the pumpkin pie, or the big football game, or going to Black Friday shopping. Ooh, big exciting times. But is that really what our founding fathers and early settlers of America had in mind when they talked about Thanksgiving? No, not really. When you go back in history and look at America's founding and its early settlement, you'll find that Thanksgiving was exactly that. The idea of giving thanks, and specifically giving thanks to the Creator God that had allowed America to flourish, and to allow the settlers to flourish, and had allowed the country to grow and to become something. Now, initially, a lot of the early settlements and the colonies would have their own localized Thanksgiving proclamations. And these were issued on the basis of maybe a great harvest that year. Or maybe there was a request for fasting as well because of the fact that they needed some extra guidance and some things that were happening in their lives. But the point behind Thanksgiving was the idea that the people would come together as a community, as Americans, and say, we are going to give thanks to God the Creator for all of the blessings that we have. Now, the localized and the colony or state-oriented proclamations of Thanksgiving eventually merged themselves into national proclamations. So by the time the American Revolution came around, you had the Continental Congress authorizing or recommending or calling for a day of Thanksgiving. Those proclamations from our historic records go back to 1775. Now, perhaps one of the most famous Thanksgiving proclamations occurred after the United States was organized under the U.S. Constitution, and that was the first Thanksgiving proclamation of George Washington in 1789. That proclamation is the one that's read most often, and it never ceases to amaze a casual observer how brilliant the words were that George Washington put pen to paper to, and calling for the American people to give thanks. Let me read just a brief portion to you real quick. And also that we may then unite in most humbly offering our prayers and supplications to the great Lord and ruler of nations, and beseech him to pardon our national and other transgressions, to enable us all, whether in public or private stations, to perform our several and relative duties properly and punctually, to render our national government a blessing to all the people, by constantly being a government of wise, just, and constitutional laws, discreetly and faithfully executed and obeyed, to protect and guide all sovereigns and nations, especially such as have shown kindness unto us, and to bless them with good government, peace, and concord, to promote the knowledge and practice of true religion and virtue, and the increase of science among them and us, and generally to grant unto all mankind such a degree of temporal prosperity as he alone knows to be best. This was given under my hand in the city of New York, 1789, George Washington. This Thanksgiving, before you eat the turkey, before you plunge into the pumpkin pie, take some time and reflect and remember to give thanks for the one that was able to put it all together for you. On behalf of the Constitutional Organization of Liberty, this is Louis Petalico.